Today, I make Arrow's bow from Arrow Season 2. Let's get started. Here are the things you'll need. You'll need some foam board. This is about $1. You'll need some white glue, some paint, a paintbrush, definitely some hot glue, some thin cereal box cardboard, and some small brass hinges. Now, I actually got these off of a cheap wooden box from the dollar store. You'll also need some small plastic junk. This will serve for the pulleys and cams, and I use this plastic bowl. So let's start the build. So first of all, I have templates in the description for you guys, so be sure to check them out. So you want to start off with the plastic bowl, some watered down white glue, the template pieces cut out, and some elastic bands. So in its simplest format, I'm just painting a layer of glue on each piece and stacking them, then elastic banding them to the bowl, so then they'll dry in a curved shape. And you want to make sure that they're evenly strong. For the next pieces, it's the exact same process, but as I said before, you want them to be evenly strong. I actually put different markings on each kind of cardboard to make sure that I use the same amount of each to make each piece evenly strong. And here you can see I have them clamped up overnight. So for the main body of the bow, we're going to be using foam board. Now, supposedly, it's probably like the worst material to use, but I really don't care. And here you can see the half limbs the next morning, and they're already dry. So for those half limbs, you may want to work out the hinges. I just took them off the box by taking out the screws, and they're actually quite thin, which is just what I wanted. And the screws will work just great. So what I did is I test fit them on the half limbs, and here you can see they move perfectly. And we're actually going to put some elastic bands on those half limbs to keep them semi-rigid in their main positions. And now you want to hot glue the body main together. Now, what I did is I poked some holes using the tip of the hot glue gun, widened them with my X-Acto knife, and put screws and then hot glued them in place. This makes the whole bow stronger. The next step was just gluing some thin cereal box cardboard around the edges to give it a nice finish that would paint very well. Next, I got those half limb pieces that will connect to the main half limbs, and I hot glued them. But I didn't really feel that they would be strong enough, so I drilled some holes, put some screws inside, and hot glued them in place. This helps make them a lot stronger in the long run. Then I got those brass hinges and started basing out the shapes, and I actually ignored what I did before and started basing out a new way to do it. Here you can see the main body of the bow, and it looks awesome. So for those half limbs, we are going to want to attach them, and here you can see they're moving perfectly on their hinge mark, but I don't want to do that until I paint the thing. So I used a really high quality matte black acrylic paint to give this thing one really good heavy coat, and it dried in about 5 minutes. Now we have these resin cast pieces, and if you want them, let me know, I can get you some. Now back to the bow. Now that it's painted, we want to put some two small screws on the half limbs, so then we can connect an elastic band to it. This will help keep tension to the bow. Now I threw on a quick string, like I used in the last Oneida bow prop tutorial, and here you can see it moves perfectly. And I just used the arrow rest from my old bow. Now if you want this to be a Season 2 bow, I got a small piece of an old sponge brush, a piece of foam on the tip, and I basically dry brushed in a way. Now the actual bow has a very complex paint design, but you can just dry brush all over it and it'll look just fine, which is exactly what I did, and I think I'm one of the first people to make it as accurate as this. And here you can see it's a very subtle look, and in pitch black, like what they film on the set of Arrow, it looks just fine. And